Hello and welcome to Monday's programme.
Your headlines tonight. How work to recover from the worst winter storms in recent memory is far from over. 3 months on, communities in West Cornwall say repairs will take until the end of the year.
We're in the middle of a major rebuild in terms of the scaffolding going up, which is a significant piece of engineering in its own right.
So we've had to shut this woodland. Now tree work can continue so we can get that access back to the local community.
Tonight, West Country MPs call for stronger resilience against future storms. Also in the programme.
I'm at Goonhilly Earth Station in Cornwall, where the team here are over the moon to have played a part in NASA's successful Artemis II mission.
And with the blossom in full swing and our pollinators just gearing up for overdrive, it turns out that our pollen season is now longer than ever.
A very good evening. Welcome to the programme. 3 months on from 3 devastating winter storms, communities say repairs will continue until the end of the year. It comes as West Country MPs call for stronger resilience to extreme weather.
Well, Storm Goretti saw 99-mile-per-hour winds, uprooting trees and bringing down power lines, also claiming the life of a man in Morgan. 2 weeks later, though, Storm Ingrid hit the South Devon coast, damaging the Dawlish Sea Wall and Teignmouth Pier. And there was no let-up as days later, Storm Chandra caused further widespread disruption. Well, in a moment, we'll cross live to Charlotte Gay in Hale and get the view from Westminster with Alicia Fitzgerald. But first, Grace Pascoe has been meeting those still clearing up after one of Cornwall's worst ever storms.
Scaffolding is going up at the Poldhu ahead of major repairs here. It's after a large part of the care home near Mullion's roof was ripped off during Storm Goretti. A terrifying moment for the residents and the team inside.
It was crazy. It felt like we were on like a ship that was on really rocky seas, like the whole building was shaking. And we were running around trying to make sure the residents were safe, the windows were shut. We heard a loud bang coming from one of the residents' rooms and we rushed in there and her actual roof was coming down and at the bottom of the bed, so I just ran in there and had to just get her out, but realised I couldn't pick her up myself, so one of my colleagues managed to literally pick her up carefully, but we had to get her out quick. It was quite scary. And it into safety.
There's 3 gables to the home and one of the gables came off and it blew across the car park and hit the house opposite, so that's 40 tonnes worth of flying debris. The windows were being literally sucked out of the building at this point, and he instinctively just put his hands under the lady and carried her to safety. It's not a moving and handling technique we advise anyone using, but in an emergency obviously it was the best thing to do. She then said afterwards she was very grateful to her carer for saving her life. We had to evacuate the whole of the top floor. They all came downstairs and stayed in our lovely dining area. There was some power backup for our major care homes because we have generators in place.
Storm Goretti is still very much on people's minds here, including for resident Cynthia Shrub.
Without a doubt, I was frightened. In fact, I didn't get to sleep till, I think I got to sleep till 1 o'clock at night because of the noise. It was more than a storm. I think it was more like a hurricane.
Perched above Poldhu Cove, the view is exceptional, but it's also what makes it exposed in a storm like Goretti.
It was really emotional because our beautiful home was just like it had just been smashed by a massive hurricane. That's exactly what it looked like. But community spirit and the teamwork of Poldhu have been amazing, and you know, it's really exciting to see like the scaffolding's gone up and the roof is kind of being like semi-built now, and it's just looking at the future now and just getting our beautiful Poldhu back.
Storm Goretti's left scars across landscapes right across Cornwall, including here in Friendship Woods near Marazion.
And the scene of devastation here was immense. It's used heavily by sort of dog walkers and families going out. So we've had to shut this woodland since the storms, and now tree work can continue and be finished here so we can get that access back to the local community. So the impact's been huge. So there was probably around 1,000 trees down on the estate on the mainland, and on St Michael's Mount about 120-ish trees down. So yeah, huge impact. So we expect the clear up operation to take probably for the rest of the year.
It's been extreme. It's an unprecedented storm event for West Cornwall, and in terms of our workload, it was overwhelming. Yeah, quite brutal. But here we are. We've got to deal with it.
Storm Goretti tore down scores of trees along Penworn Road near Mornan Smith too.
It's still clear here that there's been a devastating storm, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, we lost pretty much, I'd say, a third to maybe half of the forest opposite, and we lost 3 mature oaks at the front that came down, 2 on the house, 1 on the drive. So we're literally just getting it back to near where it was before the storm, and it's taken the best part of this time to do that.
Alex says the night of the 8th of January 2026 is one he'll never forget.
Not many people that I know have had the same level of impact as we have down this road. I don't think people have processed it really. I think people are still in shock.
This work, repairing, making safe and rebuilding, is a powerful sign that Cornwall is moving forward following the destruction of Storm Goretti. Grace Pascoe, ITV News.
It is incredible, isn't it? Well, let's talk to Charlotte Gay, who's live at Hale Cricket Club for us tonight. So, Charlotte, incredibly, repair work still ongoing there.
I know, completely a surprise, but I mean, it couldn't be a more different day today than what we were talking about a few months ago. Look, we've got blue skies, white fluffy clouds, we've got the lawnmower out preparing for the start of the cricket season. But take us back 3 months ago, and it was 1 in the morning when there was a huge electrical surge that came bolting through the power lines around the back of the cricket clubhouse here. If we just walk you through to where the cellar is just at the back there. Thankfully, the fire door was shut, but it was a huge electrical fire. But even with containing the fire to the back room, there's still massive amounts of smoke damage. This is where the bar used to be. And joining me now is Tim, the Vice Chair at the clubhouse here, or at the club, I should say. Tim, how much of a pain has it been for you to try and get the cricket club ready back for the start of the season?
Yeah, it's been a real pain. The last 3 months has been a hell of a lot of work. As you can see, we lost absolutely everything in the clubhouse. So the whole bar, everything had to be taken down, even all the walls all replastered as well. So a hell of a lot of work by local volunteers. The insurance company have been really, really good. So we've got everything insured, and the local trades have all been in, lining them up. And as you can see, the work is getting there, and we're really looking forward to getting the bar fitted, hopefully next week, which will mean we'll be up and running for the start of this cricket season.
Yeah, and as you say, it's a bit of a blank canvas at the moment. Unfortunately, some of the junior teams' kits also got quite badly damaged, didn't they?
Yeah, so we had a storage room which had all the soot and smoke damage, so we lost a lot of our junior equipment, so like the cricket helmets, we couldn't ask the children to wear them. So with some local donations and some local grants, we've managed to kind of restock our junior equipment as well. And a week today, we're going to start with our junior programme. So we will have, next Monday, we'll have over 50 children out there playing hardball cricket with the new equipment we've got. So apart from losing our pre-season friendly, which was meant to be in 2 weeks' time, we've lost that because we realised we're not going to be ready. But in 3 weeks' time, fingers crossed, we're hoping to have cricket on here.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come and see the work, because it's nearly there. It's so nearly there, and it really needs the local community. They've already put their hands in their pockets, so as soon as it's open, come and support the club here. It's going to feel very different to what it was like at the beginning of January.
Well, fingers crossed for that, Charlotte. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's true. We can feel like we've moved on, haven't we? But people are still affected by it. Let's go live to our political correspondent, Alicia Fitzgerald, who's at Westminster. Alicia, as we say, the repair work's still going on, but the MPs are really looking at this, aren't they? They're looking ahead.
They definitely are. There have been several debates in Parliament about how we better prepare ourselves for storms and extreme weather more generally going forward in a time where this is becoming more and more frequent. Now, ministers, both government and backbench MPs, are all pointing to the fact that there has been billions of pounds worth of investment into better flood defences, repairing the existing precautions that we already have, and just looking into how we better prepare overall.
what Goretti did was it made people very aware. Certainly the Minister, Dan Jarvis, in the Cabinet Office came down to Cornwall and is now very aware that the gaps that exist. And we had a debate in the House, an adjournment debate about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was very clear that the Cabinet Office will be doing a full review and looking at this.
Now, the government is saying that they are very much on top of this issue, but critics are pointing to the fact that all of this just doesn't feel fast enough, and realistically, winter is actually soon approaching in government terms.
I don't think we yet have the systems in place to make sure that we have the backup to support people when those systems do go down. So, no, I'm not totally convinced that if it happened tomorrow, or even within the next 6 months, anything would be different. But I hope that the government is listening. I believe that they are.
So it does feel as if the government are looking at this issue and do want to be more prepared in the future. The question is whether or not the speed at which they're doing it will be fast enough before the next storm approaches.
OK. Alicia, thank you very much for that.
Meanwhile, a modicum of good news. A section of the pedestrian walkway along the storm-damaged Dawlish seawall has reopened after repairs. The footpath between Coast Guard's Breakwater and Rockstone Footbridge had been closed since Storm Ingrid. It's hoped the rest of the path will reopen early next month. Well, you're watching a new look ITV News West Country. You may have noticed, at least I'm hoping you did, that we've had a bit of a makeover.
Ta-da! But some things are wonderfully familiar, like Ross and Charlie joining us in the studio. Yes! So first of all, Ross, what have you got coming up?
Yeah, we've got a lot coming up, actually. Obviously, the Devon Derby will have everything from what was an enthralling match between the sides, and we'll be touching on Exeter Chiefs' European adventure as well.
And Charlie, you're going to be talking about the weather.
And pollen.
Oh.
A lot of people already sneezing. Tree
Yes.
pollen started weeks ago, so we'll take a look at that. But yes, the weather also has a big impact on just how bad our hay fever is. Much more of that coming up in a few minutes' time.
But first, let's find out what's on the way when the ITV News continues after us with the national and international stories at 6:30. Here's Mary Nightingale.
Coming up in the programme, the Southport Public Inquiry finds the killer was an extreme danger and his attack on a children's dance class could and should have been prevented. America's blockade begins at the Strait of Hormuz after peace talks between the US and Iran ended without a deal. And Northern Ireland's Rory McIlroy makes history in Augusta as he retains his Masters title. Would you join me for those stories and more at 6:30?
Well, it's 13 minutes past 6 and we've got news of this because after travelling further than any human, we watched it all, didn't we, has ever travelled and completing their mission around the moon, the world watched on as NASA's Artemis 2 crew splashed down to Earth. Goonhilly on the Lizard provided critical tracking support for the crew and called it an historic feat.
Yes, well, Marina Jenkins is live at the Earth Station for us. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but they must be over the moon, right, Marina?
Yes, Seb, it has been a really exciting time for the team here. And you can see the 32-metre imposing antenna behind me there playing that crucial role in the mission. And I'm very pleased to say that Ollie Hancock joins me now. Ollie, you're a mission operator here. What exactly was your involvement in the mission?
Yeah, so after the past week or so, the team and I have been tracking Orion as it goes around the moon. We've been taking that frequency data and sending it back to NASA for them to have a look at and see if we're performing, basically.
And what's it like for you watching the spacecraft take off and land again?
Yeah, as a space enthusiast, it's incredible. It's just sitting there in that mission control room, watching it launch and land and everything. Yeah, it's really nerve-wracking.
Well, you've been here for 3 years and this is your very first job. Pretty exciting first job.
It's incredible, yeah. I mean, we've been involved in a couple of moon landings now, but none of them have had people on them. Obviously, they were just going around the back of the moon this time. But yeah, that's still pretty monumental to be part of that milestone in both like human history and spaceflight history. It's just incredible, yeah.
And really exciting for Cornwall to be known for it. I mean, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a pretty storied history down here at Goonhilly. To be entering that new chapter of the lunar economy and humans going back to the moon, yeah, it's just fantastic to have Cornwall on the map for that.
Yeah, and you're hopefully going to be involved in some of these exciting projects. What comes to mind at the moment?
Well, if we could be involved in Artemis 4 when humans land back on the moon and step foot, that would just be amazing, yeah. To have our team, everyone who works so hard down here to keep the site running and to provide these essential communications to be involved in that would just be, yeah, that would be fantastic.
And Ollie, you come across as someone who's really passionate about their job. What's one thing that you love about doing it?
Just to be part of this team down here that's like keeping this site alive from so long ago. It was involved in the first moon landing, and it's hopefully going involved in the next moon landing. It's amazing, yeah.
All right, well, exciting times lie ahead. Thank you so much for your time, Ollie. Well, yes, as Ollie said, this has been a really proud moment for the team here, and hopefully many more exciting projects to come.
Oh, I hope so. Marina, thank you so much. We love a bit of Goonhilly.
Oh, yes. Right, time for the sport now, and Ross is here. What a Devon derby.
Yeah, what a Devon derby. Yeah, just caught my breath from that one. Amazing. Always special, isn't it? But Argyle and Exeter City meeting for the second time this season. This one in Plymouth. Both clubs needing points for different reasons. The Green Army on their promotion march, and Exeter obviously hoping to avoid the drop. Here's how it unfolded at Home Park.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
The journey to a day circled in the calendar. Thousands of fans, a heavy police presence, and a derby that never disappoints. Bragging rights up for grabs inside the Home Park cauldron. Plymouth Argyle hosting Exeter City, a huge match for both sides. 36 miles and 14 league places split the two, as Devon is divided into red and green once again. And it didn't take long for the action to live up to the occasion. Exeter's Matt Taylor experienced in this fixture. Argyle's Tom Cleverley has only been here once before, and he'd have feared the worst at the start of the second half. Reece Cole struck to spark celebrations in the visiting section. Laurent Talai got Argyle level with his 20th goal of the season before Jayden Wareham looked to have won it in the 87th minute for the Grecians. But drama at the death. Malachi Boateng snatching another equaliser. Two and the spoils shared.
Definitely playoffs are on the cards, and maybe that trip to Wembley. Up the Argyle, Green Army.
The three that we missed down here, I mean, that was just so exciting.
It's a derby, they're on a roll. It's a good draw. Yeah, just hope we stay up now after that.
Point, fair result, I think 2-2. I thought we would sneaked it 2-1, but say la vie, you know.
Mixed emotions, immensely proud of my players, the supporters, the football club. I think any supporter would say that the one thing they want from their group of players in any game, let alone a Devon derby, is complete and utter honesty, and I thought everyone saw that today.
The mentality, the confidence, the environment that we've managed to create, a really strong one, is really affected by losing a local derby. So yes, we're all really disappointed we've dropped 2 points here today, but the consequences could have been a lot worse.
Neither side able to claim the bragging rights and the 3 points, but another Devon derby in the record books as both clubs tick towards the end of a season that could bring contrasting fortunes. Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's probably a result that doesn't actually help either side. Argyle obviously going for the playoffs, Exeter hoping to get out of the relegation zone. So a few games to go. We'll see what happens. On to the rugby though. And talking of dramatic finishes, Exeter Chiefs left it late to prolong their European journey. Rob Baxter's side came out on top in Italy against Benetton 44-41. Henry Slade kicking the all-important point in the final few minutes, which means they now move on to the semi-finals. Up next, a trip to Northern Ireland to face Ulster. Well done. Now, staying with the Chiefs, but a story you may have missed from the weekend. England women played Ireland women over the weekend. Any guess as to why this is important for us? No?
Go on.
Very interesting. Listen to this. Well, it marked the first time that Chiefs stars Claudia Maloney MacDonald and her wife Cleena played against each other. It was Claudia and England who came out on top in the end, 33-12. That, two wives playing against each other, obviously a first in the Six Nations. So, yeah. You talk about household divided, loyalties divided. Doesn't come much worse than that, does it?
Are they in positions where they will actually...
They were, yeah. Claudia said she got hit in the head by her wife. So there you go. There you go.
Thank you very much for that, Ross.
Thank you. Well, Charlie's here. Charlie, if anyone was left breathless by that Devon derby, most likely it was pollen, wasn't it?
I would have said so. I mean, a lot of people, to me, have been saying that they are sneezing and their eyes are itching, but way earlier.
Yeah.
And it seems to be that trees are really early this season, but it also is the fact that our season is elongating. So trees are coming in sooner, but everything else is lasting that little bit longer, and it's something experts have been picking up on as well.
The bees are busy bustling between the spring blooms, and maybe your first sniffles of the season have already started. About a quarter of people in the UK get hay fever, but flowers like these, that rely on insects for pollination, are usually not to blame. It's the fine powder that's carried in the wind that has the biggest impact. These airborne types of pollen are broken up into different seasons. The tree pollen starts being released early in the year in February, before grass pollen, the cause of most hay fever, which kicks in around late June. After that, it's up to the weed pollen to take us into early autumn. But nature's calendar is shifting, and it can be easy and sometimes colourful to spot.
Well, here in the West Country, after what's been a really wet and mild winter, the blooms have been out for weeks in what's thought to be a bumper year for blossom and spring flowers. That's great to look at, but it may not be brilliant news for hay fever sufferers. And with a warming climate, it seems that the pollen season is extending. We're seeing pollen and its effects sooner and later than we might be used to.
The earlier starts to spring is something that's been noticed by the Royal Horticultural Society.
These birch tree catkins, they're the male flowers, and they've released great clouds of pollen when they're warm enough and the wind shakes them. This season's been a little early. It started very early in December, then we had a cold spell in January that set everything back, but since then it's been, on the whole, relatively mild. So we're a week or two ahead of where we normally are in terms of grass growing, hedges sprouting and flowers coming out.
Scientists monitoring nature in recent years, combined with wildlife records dating back centuries, show this early burst of pollen is not unique to this spring.
There's research that's been done into how different types of pollen are being impacted by climate change. The research has shown that for some types of pollen, for example oak and grass pollen, the season's actually becoming earlier, but also birch pollen season is becoming more severe. So hay fever sufferers could be seeing their symptoms appearing earlier in the year, and they could be seeing those symptoms for longer periods of time as well.
So if you've noticed your sneezing starting earlier this year, you're certainly not alone. Pollen season is well underway. The good news is that daily pollen forecasts can help allergy sufferers plan ahead. Whether that means keeping windows closed on high count days or making sure medication is ready when the levels start to rise.
Oh, so many people are going to be relating to that one, Charlie, or getting it for the first time.
Yeah.
There are some showers coming. They help a little bit, do they?
They do at the right time of day. So in the morning, they help to kind of wash and sort of suppress a lot of that pollen production. Any other time of the day, they're just a nuisance that we found today. Right.
Okay.
This went really geeky though. If you have a look at this really closely, this was first thing this morning. There is a particular temperature, depending on the day, when you can literally see the showers developing. Just watch closely, you can see everything just bursting into life. But also at the end of the day, when temperatures start to tail off, so too does the shower activity start to tail off as well. It's a nice time of year for some weather.
Today's forecast, blue skies, followed by a spread of hot and cold plates. TUI sponsors ITV West Country Weather.
So some pretty changeable weather as we work our way through the next few days. Very much typical for the time of year, but further outbreaks of rain, a couple of showers mixed in. But if anything, temperatures might just increase a little bit as we work our way through the middle part of the week.
But we have got areas of low pressure close by, although they're mainly working towards the northwest of the UK. So we're just sort of seeing tail ends of fronts, if you like. So not a washout at all this week. There will be some outbreaks of rain. There might be some brisk winds from time to time as well. But for the most part, pretty par for the course for this time of the year. Now, it's dry out there right now, but we are going to see cloud increasing from the west, and we're going to see some outbreaks of rain coming through. Probably by midnight, we'll start to see that wet weather arriving, along with some pretty brisk winds too. So temperatures won't be anywhere near as low as they were last night. Several degrees above freezing and certainly frost-free. But it does set us up for a bit of a disappointing day, I guess you could say, through tomorrow. A lot more cloud than today. Further outbreaks of rain. Some of those will be pretty heavy, but it should fragment a little bit later on. Bright rather than sunny spells, but where we've got this wet weather, a little low cloud and hill fog. But temperatures quite high, 14, 15 Celsius. There might be a little bit of a humid feel to things out there. You might notice that. High tide as we head through tomorrow. Exmouth about 5 in the morning, and again around about 20 to 6 in the evening. As for the rest of the week, we're expecting a band of rain to come through on Wednesday, followed by a few showers, and that sort of showery theme lasts off and on as we head through the course of the week. Temperatures probably hovering somewhere around about the mid-teens, but it should feel fairly warm, particularly if you've got any sunshine. Speaking of which, mixture of sunshine and showers today. Dean got this incredible picture. Look at all the drama in those heavy showers over Sidmouth.
TUI sponsors ITV West Country Weather.
Wow.
And it was views like that one from Dean that really got me into weather in the first place. But yeah, a good time for weather because we're now looking at the sun's energy, bearing a factor of how our weather changes day to day rather than loads of great big areas of low pressure.
OK. Even the low pressure looks great on this screen, doesn't
it? I don't really quite know where to look all the time because it is giant. And you're quite far away.
Yeah. Yes. Stretchy arms.
I love it, though, isn't it?
You need a pointy stick.
I could do.
It is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we love it as
Thank
well.
you.
We've got a little behind-the-scenes tour as well of our brand new studio. We've got a gallery as well. You can have a look around. Go to Facebook or X and just search ITV News West Country, and also we'll bring you up to date with all the latest news there as well.
Yes. That's it from us. I'll have the late news for you at 10:50. See you then.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.